Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Automate Your Success, where we discuss using the money that you have to create opportunities with that money, putting it to work, and automating your success with business. Gentlemen like Brandon and Brandon are very good at putting your money to work for you and creating consistent cash flow with Amazon automation, Walmart automation, and more. In fact, they're doing so well that Brandon is going to be talking to us about an entirely new office warehouse that they're setting up, that you've been setting up over the last week. Because you're growing so much. So what does this look like? Because, someone like me, I'm a marketer, I'm a podcast host, I'm an entertainer. This isn't my expertise, but I surround myself that are experts. I surround myself with people that are experts in all different kinds of categories. And so explain this to people that are looking to do this, because we've talked about, you get returns. There's people that send stuff back. And so now you're going to have a whole warehouse where you can start to shift through all of this kind of stuff. And that's on you. You guys really are living this. So talk about what this all looks like for people that are logging on, that are looking to expand or get started, or really hear about the nuts and bolts involved with doing this business.
Yeah, you say we're expanding, and that's what we are doing. You don't see a lot of other gurus in this industry or the automation space that are building warehouses or facilities like we are, which really sets us apart because we're not afraid to show what we're actually doing in the background. Because, hey, we're getting a lot of money sent to us to run stores for people. They want to see we're actually doing work. They don't want to just see the face. Anybody can do a product. So a little about it right now. We're currently in our podcast studio in our present facility, which is about 1,500 square feet on the base floor. And then we have another 1,000 square feet on the second floor. And that's where we have our offices currently. So we're about 2,500 square feet where we're at currently. We're keeping this space where we're at for overfill of products or whatever. So we still have a lot of space here for other things, but we're moving into another space just up the road from us, which is 4,500 square feet. That adds a shipping and return center room. That alone is 1,000 square feet, along with another 1,500 square feet of warehousing. And then the rest will be offices for new podcast spaces, maybe an entryway for clients to come in and see what we're really doing, and just a few other things that we do on the e-com spaces.
So when you have these spaces, it's because A, you've got more people signing up. And so B, there's going to be returns. And C, you want to make sure that you handle all these returns correctly for your stores. Because I see a lot of people, again, because I'm online all the time and I'm marketing and doing this, and I see stories, and I follow a lot of entrepreneurs, friends with a lot of entrepreneurs. And I'm seeing it pop up more and more, this Amazon automation or this automation and this stuff like that. But I don't see really anyone talking about it other than here's a screenshot of money.
Yeah, and don't get us wrong, we still post screenshots of money.
There's nothing wrong with that. But I think that people are wondering now, including myself, and this is so great that we get to do this show every week, wondering like what really goes into this. Like, don't people send stuff back? Where does it go? What does the money look like on chargebacks and fees and stuff like that? And I think that just like any other business, people love to show the shiny objects, and they love to show the big checks, and they love to show the big receipts of going out to dinner with the clients. But I don't see anyone else in that space. And I'm so glad that we're like getting ahead of the game here, talking about this, getting a warehouse for returns. We were doing this thing and we sent out this part and it wasn't the full thing, and we screwed up and we were honest about it and we made it right, or whatever that we're talking about on this show. I don't see this being discussed at all anywhere online. And so when you have a big space like that,
it costs money.
It costs money. I was about to say that.
We're not putting money into cars. We're not putting money into foolish things. We're buying new computers. We got MacBook 27-inch screens for people that we're going to be hiring on. For all of us in the office, we don't skimp on anything that performs in our workplace. If it is going to make our work more efficient, more effective, and make our clients more pleased, that's where we're going to spend our money. I don't need that Lamborghini like everybody else does. I'm not just selling off of a front. I'm going to sell off the back. At the end of the day, people want to know that I'm doing the work. So that's where we're striding on moving our stuff. When we get returns, we're not just receiving our returns. We actually run one of the largest return centers or drop shippers across the country. We have other people in this business sending us their returns. That's how good we are at our job.
Wow. Okay, so explain that. That's a good topic to break down, because at some point, and we've talked about this before on the show, you get to a point where other people want to utilize your strengths to help make their business more efficient. I might not be a real estate guy. I've never done a real estate deal, but I MC all kinds of real estate events. Why? Because it helps everybody else have a better show.
Yeah, they're leveraging.
Right.
Why would you leverage the guy that's got the most talent in MCing instead of having another real estate guy just piecing something together?
Right. Let him focus on real estate. And so this is what it comes down to, you guys, is you're now carving out digital real estate, as I call it, online, slowly but surely, building a foundation of content that will earn you people's trust 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 2 years from now, because we're building a foundation of content that people can go back and see and say, oh, well, if I have a return, why don't I call these guys? Why don't I have them do the store? Why don't I partner with them and send them these deals? Because eventually somebody always pops out as the expert and as the leverage person. And so that's what we're doing here with this show. So I want to make it very clear. If you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook and you see these posts, or you're on our Apple Podcast when this gets dropped, make sure to leave us a comment and ask us how we can help you, because there will be a community that we're launching where you can hop on these episodes and ask us questions face to face. And I think that that's something that people want in this industry, because like I said, it's like super secretive. It's like, oh, you give us your money and we're going to make you money. But you guys are like, well, it's not always like that, folks. There are risks involved. You need this amount of credit. There are returns. There are certain times where we've thought one thing and it went the other way. We lost money making it right. And so I think that this whole return, this whole new office for just returns is a huge thumbs up for you guys, because you're admitting that, listen, just not every deal goes through, and you need to make sure that your customer service is on point so that people come back to you, vendors come back to you, people come back to you. And even if they weren't happy with the product and they returned it, they still give you a thumbs up and shop from you again.
Yeah, they're going to 100%. When you can communicate for your clients, say, hey, we get a return box. You get this pretty commonly now, because return fraud's a big thing out in this industry. And if you don't have a return center or someone handling that return, you truly never know what's actually going on. I can catch on to rhythms of similar people that are doing the same thing with the way they have a name, or if they're ordering from multiple stores and they're returning half the products and just getting the full return and like thinking that's okay. And we go in and we dispute that for our people, because we don't respect anybody that's interested in return fraud. We put it right to the person. I'll call them directly when I receive a box. I'm on the phone. Hey, where's the rest of this product? And they're like, well, we decided to eat these other bags of chips. I said, I can't give you a refund. At the end of the day, I'm not taking half his stuff. Well, what was wrong with them? Well, they were bad. I said, no, they weren't bad. They came directly from Lay's. There's nothing you can say. It's within the expiration dates, everything. They're in a sealed box. Like, I don't know where you're getting your information from. And we've seen this commonly with some products, and people try to send back funny things just to print the label off to get it sent back so they get refunded. And then you have to go back after it. The other day I had a wood planer, $500 wood planer. Okay. DeWalt wood planer. We sell quite a bit of them, and it got sent back. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, man, this box feels kind of light. This isn't a wood planer for sure. Open it up. It's a t-shirt and some socks. And I'm like, whoa, this isn't flying. You start the dispute process, you email them, it's a few day process, because I have to leave it sit on a shelf and take up my space, but it's worth it for me if I can save that person the $500 from getting robbed. That's one thing that we stride on at our facility. And that's why so many other automation guys are like, hey, Brandon, why aren't you handling my returns? Because I can't physically do it, because it's too much. It's actually labor. And a lot of these guys are afraid of work. And that's one thing we do here in Wisconsin. We know how to work.
Dude, and I think that that's the thing that separates you guys from a lot of other people, is that you just show up and do your thing. Me too. I wear Star Wars t-shirts and stuff on podcasts, and I interview whoever ends up on the show that day. And sometimes it's, pretty high level people. But I think that when you just show up authentic and you just show up genuine, people respond highly to that. I think that there's this idea in entrepreneur world that we all have to wear suits and pants and ties and jackets and this stuff. I think that that's appropriate in certain scenarios, but I think that for the most part, what we're seeing is, guys like Steve Jobs wear the same outfit every day for 30 years because the time that it takes, unless you have it set out and that's your go-to, the time that it takes to think about all this other stuff takes away from your brain power in the morning of how am I going to activate and have a great day? How am I activating my routine and being successful? And that's all the stuff that we talk about, the guruisms and stuff. We're going to crack those jokes and you're going to hear that here. But at the end of the day, it's like having a solid morning routine and being authentic and holding yourself accountable and holding your customers and clients accountable is essential. And that's what you're doing by having a big, huge return center is, hey, listen, we can't allow our business to be gutted of $500 here. We got to hold this accountable. I mean, you sent us shoes and socks when it was supposed to be some big, heavy wood chipper. I mean, this is not right. Sorry. And we're going to hold you accountable for that.
Oh yeah. And I think it needs to happen more. We see the routine and now it's like we're seeing it more because before we never handled the returns at this level. Amazon, you could get away with sending a label and then the person would send it out and hey, whatever, it showed up back at whatever supplier and they dealt with it. Well, now on Walmart, that's not something that's even possible. It's got to go back to your return center. So now you're really seeing the dirtiness of it. But the best thing is we're here to make it clean. At the end of the day, we're going to fight for it and we're going to get that money back or dispute it if we can, if it's something possible. And we're going to try our best to save your dollar.
That's great.
And a lot of automation guys are doing that.
I totally agree. And like I said, I think it's all great. I think that there's a lot of options out there. I'm sure a lot of people can help you make money. But what we're here to do is we're here to educate you on how to make it the best, smoothest process and educate you on the ins and out and the nuts and bolts of the business. If you're putting in money and you're trusting people with your credit and your information and, your reputation, you want somebody that's going to go to bat for you when the game's on the line, when nobody's looking. And like you said, that's going to put in the work and have a system that you can trust. And so that is exactly why I've aligned myself with you guys, is because I see it and I love being a part of it. And I love helping you guys get the word about it out there. And I'm looking forward to even getting some of your customers and some of your clients on the show to talk about what their experience is in the future, about how they're seeing results and how they chose you guys over other options as well. So I think that all ties into what we're talking about today. You're expanding because you're doing a great job, because there's more orders, there's more stuff coming in, there's more stuff going out, and you want to make sure that there's a great process and system in place to make sure that everybody gets the top return and the top customer service. So I think it's a beautiful thing, dude.
I think when you get a few of our clients on here, they're going to say some of the same things. They're going to go, why did you choose Brandon and Brandon? They're going to be like, the person itself. It wasn't that they had the highest or craziest numbers. They were the most truthful. They were the most upfront. And when they were in my city or they were out around, they made it a deal for them to meet me or come out and go on an event. There's a lot of clients where, hey, I flew out to Phoenix and I got a lot of clients out there. Hey, we're in Phoenix. Let's all get together and go to dinner, or, hey, let's hit the golf course. Let's do something beyond just being a client, business partner deal. Let's make it something more. I want to be your friend. I'm not here to just take money and run. Like a lot of them other guys, they don't want to spend time with you. They're looking down upon you as a client, and now where we're at,
Yeah, it's like business has become a lot more personal and less transactional. And the better that you can relate to people, the more people are going to do business with you. Business people do business with people that they trust now. And I've talked about this a lot on other shows, and maybe we've mentioned it here too. But 10 years ago, nobody knew who the CEO of Nissan or whatever was, or they just didn't care. But like now, Elon Musk runs Tesla, and you can follow his personal account on Facebook or Instagram, and you can literally reach out to someone who's a CEO and potentially get in contact with them. I'm telling you guys, the internet has changed all of that.
Yeah, that guy did a heck of a job on turning that company around from Lotus chassis to throwing electric motors in them. It was like the way he branded himself, branded Tesla, which unbelievable. And you're 100%. Technology has changed a lot of things.
And so I think that's awesome. And the more people can see exactly what you guys are all about, the more business and the more people are going to sign up with you anyway. This podcast is just a communication channel for exhibiting and showing people and showcasing exactly what you guys do. And it is going to become a bridge of communication for new clients and new customers and new relationships. And so I'm really excited about it. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there and you're thinking about getting started in this business and you want to talk to Brandon and Brandon, shoot the page a message, shoot them a message, and let's all get in touch and make something happen, because I think that the power of the internet and the power of communication is in our corner now, and you can get so much more education by just going face to face with somebody, getting the information you need, building the trust and authenticity that you need, and making your money work for you. And I think it's just so cool. And that we're getting this thing started. It's ahead of the game. And this is something that people need. Cause like you said, it's kind of like a unspoken thing that people are doing this, but like, what is it? And what are the risks and what's the cost involved? And I don't see a lot of that, and it needs to be out there. So always a pleasure, sir. And I know you got to get back to work. Thanks for taking time. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you on the next one.
All right.